running backs. Running backs have
Mm-hmm.
been living this year, especially running backs on new teams. Taking a look at this fun little stat. Um, the running backs on new teams rank 1, 2, and 3 for rushing leaders, and they also are on winning record teams, whereas the teams they left have all sucked. Now, again, I feel like this should come with a small grain of salt because Saquon leaving the Giants already sucked. Henry leaving the
Mm-hmm.
Titans already sucked. And Jacobs leaving the
Raiders
Raiders
already
already
suck.
suck. So I feel
And
like
they
that's,
just went to much better teams, which I guess it kind of makes sense.
yeah,
But I
that's
mean, you could
that.
say different with Aaron Jones
Yes.
and Joe Mixon.
Yeah, they
Wait, no,
truly have been. Yeah,
no.
they
I
both
mean,
are on new
yeah.
teams. They're balling. I mean, Mixon, the Bengals are
And their
worse
teams that they
without
left
him.
were, yeah, I would say their team they left, they weren't that bad. But
Yeah, the Bengals are definitely worse without Joe Mixon. Now Chase Brown has
hmm
become a stud over there for Cincinnati, and their defense has been a big issue. But Joe Mixon has showed that his age is not the reason he needed to leave. He still got it.
he's projected to get me 20 points in the dynasty this week.
Damn. No, I will say this though, like the Bengals, them choosing to release Joe Mixon is still a mistake because they didn't release him with the intention of going to Chase Brown. By the given fact that Zach Moss, they signed him to the contract in free agency, paid him like their starter. That and Chase Brown was the clear backup for the first half of the
Hmm.
year. Even
And that changed pretty quick.
it did start to change pretty quickly. But that just shows that they were planning on going with Zach Moss. So that was a complete flop going from Mixon to Moss. They got lucky they had Chase Brown sitting in the wings. Then when it comes to Aaron Jones, I mean, Josh Jacobs is younger, so I do get that transition. But do you think with all this running back success in general, like the NFL this year has been a true running league, do you think that will translate into the running back market in the future, or do you think the running back market is still going to stay the way it is? Because there have been a lot of young guys who have been popping off too, so teams will still look at it and be like, we can still get a guy for cheap. Or do you think
Hmm.
all of this will
I mean,
actually end up mattering?
for this next season, I don't think the market will boom that much just for this next season because I don't think there's going to be a lot of guys at high value. But in the future, I think they'll look at these switches and these changes in the running backs from these teams and take that into account and maybe look at these. I mean, there's not going to be too many vets in the market in the coming future, but when there actually is and when those young guys start to leave those other teams, I think they will, and I think the market will increase like maybe 3 years, 4 years down the line.
Yeah.
But I don't think right in the near future that's going to happen.
I'd honestly agree with that. I think especially if Josh Jacobs or and these guys they keep except Henry. Henry's already in his 30s, so it's a little different. But like
hmm
Saquon and Jacobs can really go on like a 2-3 year tear where they're really tearing it up on their
hmm
contracts. And then maybe like another
Exactly.
guy or two end up hitting a FA and they go to a new team and they also hit. That and also the fact that the league is clearly starting to go more run heavy, which I find very interesting that we're going run heavy this year when it felt like all off season it was about how many receivers your team can get. And now already within the same calendar year, it's about who are your running backs and how many good RBs do you
Yeah,
have.
maybe that whole receiver rush kind of made them shy away and forget about running backs, and then they just kind of got blindsided by that fact. But
Yeah, because running backs are now truly showing their value and
mhm.
showing that, hey, they need to be guys.